glad that you're joining us on the Big Q. I'm Imi Mulekatete Kalema, and like I promised last week, we're going to continue with the Minister of Health, Dr. Agnes Binagwaho. And we left off where I was letting you know that in 2013, government made a huge loss amounting to 2 billion Rwandan francs. And in that case, King Faisal had purchased a bulk of medicine and equipment and later expired in the store before it was dispatched. And we want to know from the minister, and that is a question that was raised by Robert, what is being done to avoid such huge losses in the near future?
So before I answer the question, I want to rectify the question. It was not 2 billion. Okay. They bought for 2 billion. We saw that they cannot use it. We take those drugs back, we put them back to Cameroon and sold them to the districts.
So there was no any medicine that expired in the store?
No. Okay. It was not 2 billion. Okay. I just want to rectify the question. The question is just the numbers are not correct. And also we have now a new information system to manage the drugs. So you order through that information system. The central store order them outside of the country, distribute them, and all this is computerized up to it is used at the health facility level. This will allow the country not to have overstock or stock out. The chain of ordering and supervision and the use is really better managed.
Over to Dennis Majambere. Learning and benchmarking from the recent Ebola outbreak in West Africa, there was Liberia, Sierra Leone and Guinea. How is Rwanda prepared to handle such kind of outbreaks? And since it's a zoonotic disease, is the ministry working with the animal resources sector to remedy this?
Yes, since more than 7 years we are working with the Minister of Agriculture, the district, and if it's something very important like Ebola, the government has set up an interministerial committee for Ebola preparedness, because we didn't have to respond, we didn't get it. And in that committee, we have the minister in charge of internal affairs, disaster, local government, Minister of Health, and also all the security organs, the media, etc. And we need to be vigilant, because yesterday it was Ebola, today it's Ebola, tomorrow is something else. I want to recall that 4 years ago it was the avian flu. So those diseases that are killing massively can emerge anytime. We even don't know from where.
Now over to Agatha. How come or why do you fire health workers or medical practitioners at will, not in accordance with the law?
Oh, I don't believe that it happened.
That is a doctor who said so.
Yes, but we have, you know, we are a country with institutions, and nobody here is above the law. Nobody.
Sure.
So that means if somebody is fired and find that it's not appropriate, there is the public commission. Is they belong to another ministry called MIFOTRA, and they can complain. And so far, we have used all the steps for firing, because when the life of somebody is in danger, don't say that I'm going to ask a demande d'explication, give you 5 days to answer, and after that take 15 days to answer, and etc., etc. When the life is in danger, I'll be guilty to let it go. We know also that many people that doesn't perform always sees the mistakes in others. As a regulator body, we just protect the life of people.
Okay.
That's it.
And now I get a little bit personal. One person decided to stay anonymous, and they say you have at one point introduced yourself as the rudest minister. Tell us why you tend to build a fierce wall around you.
I'm just laughing because I never say that. It's a competition I don't want to engage.
Yes.
But again, many of our brothers and sisters don't like when we tell the truth. And in their mentality, They believe that when we tell the truth, we are just rude. No, we just tell the truth. And again, we are in a sector where we cannot play around because it's life or death. And if somebody doesn't perform, we just tell them, you don't perform.
Yes.
There is also something people have to learn. Don't confuse yourself with your work. If I tell you, you don't perform, just like when somebody tell me that I'm not performing in this, I don't question myself, I'll question the way I'm doing things and try to improve.
And let me end with this, Minister. Ever since the government of Rwanda, through the Ministry of Health, decided to offer the treatment cost for one journalist, Edmund Kajire, my good friend, there have been many questions on social media, even those that are just murmurs, you know, people just talking about it. There are questions, why choose him, or why did government decide to act upon this when the people were already raising money? Please tell us something about that.
First of all, for me, it's just a case among many. The government sent out for specialized care more than 50 people a year. And it's not the government. We send them, but under recommendation of a medical referral board. So that means when you have you are sick with a disease that cannot be treated in Rwanda, but it's curable. Your doctor may bring your file to the medical referral board that is chaired by Dr. Ramasirabo. And this medical referral board analyze your file, see the chance you have to be cured or not, and decide or not to send to propose to send you abroad. When we have the money, then we do it. So it happened that it's your good friend, and your good friend, I know how journalists use the media, is your job. So it has been a lot of noise around this, but there is no noise around the 5 others we send the same week. And it's not because it's a journalist. It happened that he has made a lot of noise on media. That's good. We love social media, but it has nothing to do, because there are other cases who do a lot of noise in media, but they are not treatable. We cannot cure them, so we will not send them. And we just want to recall also that this fund to refer abroad, it's a certain amount every year, not more, not less. But it's also audited. So Ombudsman can see, the Auditor General can see. There is no privilege, it's just a right of Rwandan. When we can afford, we do.
Thank you very much, Minister, for your time.
My pleasure.
And I'm very sure there's a lot that has been edifying for the audience that is watching.
I hope.
And thank you so much for the questions that were sent in. Like I always say, you are a big part to the big Q. Without you, there is no big Q. So keep them coming in. And next week, we have Dr. Canisius Kanajire, the Executive Secretary of Lake Victoria Basin Commission from the East African community. So send in your questions and he will answer your questions then. Be well and be blessed.